Hey there, Fortnite community, and welcome back to another edition of the Fort Report. We've got a longer show this week to cover from content from the past 2 weeks, so I hope you guys are ready. As usual, we're going to start off with the show's latest patch notes, which is going to be for 2 weeks again. Then we'll move on to talk about the endgame limited time mode before discussing this week's esports news. Now, first up, let's talk about that V8.5 patch notes. Starting off small, many bug fixes occurred that week for weapons and items. We won't go through all of them because there's a lot of them, but some of the fixes included the yellow invulnerability effect not appearing on players after being revived by reboot van, players being unable to prevent fall damage by using a flintlock pistol while crouching, and the hold to swap function is now confirmed when releasing the use button rather than when initially pressing it. Hit markers are now server-side authoritative rather than client-side, and that this means it's going to prevent players from seeing hit markers and getting no damage. So when you get a hit marker now, it's actually going to be a hit marker. None of this fake hit marker stuff going on. And now also dropping inventory items is no longer allowed to prevent camera issues. And also players rebooted into rifts were teleported into the sky sometimes randomly, but would not switch to a skydiving mode, and that could be irritating, but that's been fixed. Next, a sound visualizer feature has been added to aid players with impaired hearing. Moving on into the highlight of this episode, the Fortnite and Avengers collaboration. Everyone's been loving it so far, and let's talk about this endgame limited time mode. And I'm sure most of you guys have played it already, but if you haven't, here are some of those details. This limited time mode features a team of heroes that have to team up to defeat the Thanos and Chitauri army from claiming the 6 Infinity Stones. Players from the hero team will be able to respawn when eliminated until the enemy team has found all 6 stones. They will each start off with one treasure map, which will lead them to a mythic Avenger item. This is going to be like, Captain America's shield or Hawkeye's bow, Iron Man's blasters, etc., etc. Other Avenger items can be found in chests across the map as well. The main goal of the heroes is to destroy the Chitauri and defeat Thanos, obviously. If you find yourself on Team Thanos, your main goal is to find all 6 Infinity Stones and defeat the heroes. Chitauri start off with a powerful laser rifle and an anti-structure grenade attack, and a jetpack which lets them jump highly but briefly. The first Chitauri to find an Infinity Stone becomes Thanos. If that Thanos is eliminated, another Chitauri will become Thanos, unless Thanos is the last one standing, Then obviously he's going to stay Thanos. By becoming Thanos, the attacks the player can use include a powerful punch, a destructive beam attack, and an ability to jump high and smash anything on the way down, those big old power moves. Collecting the stones will buff Thanos in different ways. The Reality Stone, that's the red one, is going to increase health and shields and double them from 1,000 to 2,000 points. The Soul Stone, that's the orange one, is going to siphon activated, that's what it's called, and this grants Thanos shields only. The Mind Stone is yellow, it's going to double that jump height, which is crazy enough. A Space Stone blue, that's going to ground pound. The area of effect size tripled, and the damage is going to be multiplied by 6. The Time Stone, which is the green one, big knockback added to each hit, and damage is going to be multiplied times 3. And the Power Stone, that's the purple one, is going to increase laser damage by multiplying it by 6. So in addition to the limited time mode, players can also obtain rewards like sprays and banners, and this awesome limited time Avengers Quinjet glider by completing the challenges. And if that isn't enough, players can still head over back to the store to buy some amazing skins like the Black Widow and Star-Lord outfits with their back blings, pickaxes, emotes, and more. And that's going to wrap up the 8.5 patch update, but now let's move on to the 8.51 patch update. And not a lot changed in this update, obviously, because the previous one was so massive. A new item, the Shadow Bomb, was added. When used, the bomb cloaks the user in shadow, rendering them invisible to enemies for 6 seconds. While in effect, the user will have increased movement speed, double jump, and wall jump abilities, so you can basically become a ninja, which is pretty cool. However, users cannot attack, build, or loot while using the Shadow Bomb, so keep that in mind. At the end of its effect, the user will slowly become more visible to other players, so it's not an instant thing, it's going to be a little bit gradual. The bomb itself is an uncommon rarity and can be found from the floor loot, chests, supply drops, and llamas. Players can carry 6 of them at a time maximum, and 2 gameplay and user interface bug fixes were also added in that latest 8.51. The sound effect for jetpacks sometimes playing much louder than usual has been fixed. That could obviously be annoying. The Victory Royale user interface animation being displayed for all players in limited time modes with respawn enabled was the other one. And that's going to be it for the patch notes we got. We'll be moving over to some smaller updates before discussing esports. So on April 30th, it was officially announced on the Fortnite Twitter that large party support has been added to the game. Players can now have up to 16 players in a party. Who's got that many friends? I know I don't. In any game mode that includes limited time modes and creative modes. So far, it has definitely been interesting to see how the community has been reacting to the news. Now, this next bit of news may be a relief to a player that may have accidentally purchased a cosmetic item. In a Reddit post made about a month ago, an Epic Games employee states that the team has been working on a better refund system than the one that currently is in place. This is a new system which will be more like an undo button, which will allow players to undo accidental purchases within 5 minutes of making that purchase. This is a great difference from the current one, which allows only 3 self-refunds per account at one time. I mean, not at one time. For one account, they only get 3 self-refunds. So yeah, definitely a much better system going on right now. The Epic Games employee further states that they plan to implement this new refund system that's within 5 minutes undo your purchase by all the systems by Season 9. And speaking of new features, another possible feature which could be added but is not guaranteed yet is the game mode is dual mode. And in another Reddit AMA that is now only drawing attention, user Dark Veil, an Epic Games employee, confirmed that the developers were working on a 1v1 mode where the winner would stay on to duel more players. However, it is unclear when this mode will be added to the game, if it will even officially be added, since it's only been spoken about by one employee. Now next, a reminder for console players. This is, you better get your butt on this if you haven't done it already, if you have multiple accounts. If you are currently playing on 2 different consoles, that's like PlayStation, Xbox Live, Nintendo Online, you can choose to merge the cosmetic items and V-Bucks from one account to another. This feature will be available until May 6th, so after May 6th it may not come back, so you better get on that 2 days before the start of Season 9. However, a few things to remember when merging accounts. Both accounts must have been played before September 28th on 2018. Both accounts must not be banned or disabled. In-game items will be held for 2 weeks before they can be merged into your primary account, and you will need access to all email addresses that are associated with both accounts. For any more details on account merging, go and head on over to the Epic Games website for more details. Now moving on to esports news, and there's quite a bit of this because there were some qualifiers, 2 weeks of qualifiers that we have to catch up on. So let's start off with week number 2 of the World Cup qualifiers. In Europe, big name duos qualified to kick off the first week of duo qualifiers. NRG's Benji Fish and Mr. Savage M finished in first place, followed by Atlantis' Mitro and Secret's Mongrel. And 11 Gaming's Stompy and, I'm going to butcher this one, Shinkin and Loot Boys Meeks and Scram round out the top 4 teams to qualify. The exact opposite scenario played out in North America as many top duos failed to qualify. In East, Wolfgang Crims and OT Spades claimed the top spot. MSF's Clicks and Skeptic came in second, and MV Linane and Tyler 15 finished third. Arkham 1X, or just Arkham, I don't even know, and Bloom Falconer were the only duo to qualify in the West. Cover H and MF Twiz, CR Bell and Scarlet number 1, and W7M's PF Zin and Nyx were the last 3 duos to qualify from Oceania, Asia, and Brazil respectively in that order. The second week of solo qualifiers was played last week as big names continue to qualify for the World Cup. In Europe, 8 players qualified this week with Luki TJK, finishing with 69 points. 69. I'm just kidding. I didn't say that. Cooler, Left Eye, and Felder Moyes followed closely with 60 and 67 points respectively. In fourth game came T-Chub with 63 points. TTV Core Gaming and Wakey finished both with 62 points. And finally, Secrets Dementos finished 8th with 59 points. In North America East, FaZe Clan's Tfue pulled off an insane comeback while streaming to over 200,000 people to finish first and qualify. Unknown Army had 67 points, finished third. FaZe Clan's Funk Bomb, Niddle FN, and Counter Logic Gaming Psalm all finished with 64 points to qualify. In second place, Rise Nation's Ziff finished with 69 points. However, he was accused of teaming with other players. FaZe Clan's High Sky brought attention to the situation on Twitter, and he posted a video that shows Ziff eliminating 2 players who allowed him to do that without really contesting it. Other than giving him 2 points for the elimination, it also meant that he had full shield and game materials at the beginning of the game, giving him an advantage over other players. Ziff denied these accusations. However, this morning, Epic released a statement about the situation, stating that they had concluded their investigation and they determined that the players involved were teaming up. All players are not, it was against the rules. All players involved were given a 2-week ban, and Ziff lost his qualification spot and all his prize money that he had won. A 2-week ban might seem too lenient considering it's for a $30 million tournament, but at least Epic is making an effort in banning players who are caught cheating. Epic also stated that the player highest ranked outside the top 6 in last week's qualifier will be given that qualification spot that Ziff held. Dubs finished 7th in the qualifiers, however he had already qualified in week 1, so as a result 8th place Clicks qualifies to the Fortnite World Cup in New York. This controversy comes after Epic had banned over 1,200 players for cheating in the first week of qualifiers. Pro players have been very critical of Epic's preference to make qualifiers online instead of having LAN events, as anyone could cheat or stream snipe other players. Competitive players have been extremely frustrated with Epic lately, but we'll get to that later. In North America West, only 2 players qualified. KNG Epic Whale finished first with 81 points, and Stepbro Karhu finished second with 73 points. I don't know why I love that name, Stepbro Karhu. Cat Taking Walls and I'm Lasers qualified from Oceania and Brazil respectively. And lastly, in Asia, Tops Bani finished first with 102 points, and Takamuram, if I said that right, I think I did, finished second with 85 points to qualify. And last Friday, Epic Games released a statement addressing some of the changes that have been made to the game in the last few months. Pro and casual players alike had some questions about some of the changes that were implemented in Fortnite. Epic had kept everyone in the dark and hasn't been communicating effectively with the community. Regarding the siphon and material change, Epic said that though initially players were happy to receive mats and shields for eliminations, however, there was unexpected consequence. Players were frustrated with aggressive play, feeling they had a smaller chance of survival when facing high-skilled players. This caused them to play less, and according to Epic, they didn't want their casual players to feel alienated and that the game they played couldn't be enjoyed. They also addressed the issues surrounding stressed resolution and the FOV slider, that's the field of view. They claimed that if players were given the chance to have gameplay advantage, they would try to maximize their chances of success. They wanted to avoid giving players options which provide them with advantages over other players that didn't have those options. Epic vowed to re-evaluate how they communicate with competitive players, as well as increasing their online presence in forums to discuss the evolution of the game and the arena mode as the competitive season progresses. The statement left many players frustrated with Epic, with some considering the statement inadequate after waiting for weeks to hear about the direction of the game that it's heading toward. A lot of players had been frustrated with how Epic Games has been dealing with the development of the game surrounding the competitive scene. Most notably, 2 of the top highest earning pros, Bizzle and Tfue, have both criticized the game and said that they would probably stop competing after the World Cup. Shroud has also revealed that many pro players had messaged him saying that they would be moving on from the game after World Cup. This is not great news if you want to grow your competitive fan base. You don't want those top tier players to leave if you're not communicating well, you know? And lastly, it was announced that this week that Courage and Dr. Lupo are going to be casting the World Cup in New York coming in July. Both casters are popular streamers. Obviously, you've heard one of their names, if not both of them. And they have been awesome in the game playing themselves and have casted several Fortnite events before. Fans will be happy to hear about this announcement as the duos have become fan favorites. And lastly, we're going to wrap up this week's Fort Report with a series of montages, starting us off with a little montage by Inton. So enjoy it.
I'm a down South Florida boy, ain't going back to Hollywood. From the gutter to your guns, let me ignite the firewood. Still I roll slow in the Chevy, don't never forget where I rose up from. Spit on my face, get rid of my funds, and who am I? Just another guy, stuck in desperation, looking at the ceiling fan, spinning around, having a panic attack. I don't pop no pills cause it don't take the pain away from me. I don't play no shit cause it done took the gang away from me. I've been known to pimp my hoe, got dirty loafers on my feet. Bitch, you got me mesmerized, them thighs the size of me. Let me slide inside your body, beat. Bitch, I got my chain on hangers, they wrong with a broken wrist.
My goodness, there we go. Now you can hear me. Next we have Earth by Toho, and if you're not going to even watch it for the clips, I would even still watch it just to listen to the awesome music of Earth by Lil Dicky. I love this song. So now enjoy the montage or enjoy the music. Enjoy both. Enjoy something, you know what I'm saying? Have fun.
What up, world? It's your boy, just one of the guys down here. Well, I could be more specific. I'm a human, and just wanted to, you know, for the sake of all of us Earthlings out there, just wanted to say, we love the Earth. It is our planet. We love the Earth. It is our home. We love the Earth. It is our planet. We love the Earth. It is our home. Hi, I'm a baboon. I'm like a man, just less advanced, and my anus is huge.
Hey, I'm a zebra. No one knows what I do, but I look pretty cool in my white or black. I'm a lion cub, and I'm always getting licked.
How's it going, I'm a cow? You drink milk from my tits. I'm a fat fucking pig.
I'm a common fungus.
I'm a disgruntled skunk, shoot you out my butthole.
I'm a marijuana plant, I can get you fucked up.
And I'm Kanye West.
We love the Earth. It is our planet. We love the Earth. It is our home. We love the Earth. It is our planet. We love the Earth. It is our home. We love the Earth. We are the vultures, feed on the dead.
We're just some rhinos, funny as heck.
I just had to listen to that. I put the headphones on because I had to hear that music. It's just a great song. So coming up next is Go Off by Stats. Enjoy their montage.
One more ride, one more race. We go all out, we don't play. One more ride, one more way. We don't slow down, ain't no breaks. I'ma go off, I'ma ride tonight. It don't matter what we face. I'ma go off, I'ma ride tonight. I'm the master of my fate. I'ma go off, I'ma go off, I'ma go off, I'ma go off. Yeah, I gotta go now. Taking off and I'm riding on the road now. Hit the gas, no brakes, gotta go now. Put my life on the line, yeah, it's on me. Blood rushing through my veins, no IV. Ride switching lanes, you can't stop me. You can smell the propane when you pass me. Ride for the game because I'm the chief. Helicopter hovering this high speed. Chase, drive, straight. I'ma race to the cake. Flame on it, don't change on me. All of us became homies. One more ride, one more race. We go all out, we don't play. One more ride, one more way. We don't slow down, ain't no breaks. I'ma go off, I'ma ride tonight. It don't matter what we face. I'ma go off, I'ma ride tonight. I'm the master of my fate. I'ma go off, I'ma go off, I'ma go off, I'ma go off. Yeah, I gotta go now. Nah, you rockin' with the ether child and overdrive, yeah.
And next up is a montage of Parallel Tray by Art and Vo. Let's see what we got here.
Let's fucking go.
Nice clean shot. Window shot. Tight up in there.
There's Gutty right there.
Oh, get off the camera, buddy. Oh, make it hard for me. Good job. Oh, they got it back. Oh, get off your board, buddy.
Oh my gosh.
One pump that man's dome is going to continue on. I like that he has the RPG here. Very scary close quarters. It doesn't even matter. He does it. He is 1/10 to the face of that person. Top 3 right now, Sundown.
Yes, top 3. He's wondering on the high ground, but he's trying to drop it down. He's very instinctual there, catching himself like catch it again. Tried to pop the rift, didn't get it in time. Right now on the low ground, anyway, closes that one out, setting the nation's.
Next up is a montage of Machi. Enjoy. And of course he's part of Parallel 2, that's why you see the same right there. Whoa, nice. Oh, nice job, camper. Oh, look at him. Campfire camper. Taking it to another level. Oh, get out of here. Oh, no. Usually you don't include your deaths. Interesting. Or was that? I think that was him. Those are pretty cool shots. Have you ever felt Chanel fabric? I be dripping to death. I need a casket. We got more strikes in the rough. We foul tech em. In the middle of the field like David Beckham. All my niggas locked up. Oh, that guy was clueless. He didn't know what was going on. Got me the chills. Don't know what happened. Pop pill, do what you feel. I'm on that zombie. I'm more like a Gaddafi. I'm not no Gandhi. I'm more like I'm David Goliath running. Niggas be cloning. Oh, sniper. Let's see it. That's alright, no distance. That was a good shot. There you go, keep it going. Oh, concussion. No scope! Winner. Beautiful. And then this is Zao Films' montage of Team NorCal. I hope I'm saying that right. Team NorCal? Norcali.
When you're down and depressed, just a mess. I see you when you cry, when you shy, when you wanna die. I see you when you smile. It takes a while, at least you're here. I see you, yes I see you.
Oh, pressing the flip line. Oh, that's like a back and forth. That was cool. Midair. That was cool. Next is a teamtage of FaZe's newest pro team. Let's do it. FaZe up.
Speaking of another player, clutching it up. Most eliminations right now. Perfect tilt sitting on 4.
The bow and arrow, that was dope. Quick 3, quick 4.
Diggy is at 4 limbs right now, so this would be a 5th elim to earn 2 points this game.
Storm.
Diggy peeking. Does he decide to pop the medkit? It doesn't appear so as of yet. He wants this fight. I think he's worried about his opponent potentially dropping the Storm down into 16 HP. The build up. He does get above his opponent.
Look at how low his health is.
He gets it the last section. Trap limb, and there he goes.
No way. That dude one. We're gonna stay on that FaZe train with FaZe Jarvis. Let's see it, Jarvis. That was a pretty cool editing effect right there.
Oh my god!
motherfucking day. I work hard every day. But today is my day.
We're gonna move on into pluses montage.
Les deux sont un HP.
When you're feeling down on your luck,
On the bridge.
nothing's enough. You gotta pick yourself
You
up.
can't get away with a balloon, sir.
It might leave scars, can tear you apart if you let it be smart. Yeah, you wanna be just like the stars. Take me to Mars, high up in bar. Yes, that's a start. All I know is that I love making nards.
Oh no, he's caught dancing. The outbuild.
It's hard to have faith.
And he got him with that spike trap.
Of this awful place, and if that's the case, you're sitting there sick and tired of the rat race. The fast pace, and you're thinking it's a bad place. You just wanna blast off into outer space. I get it, trust me, I've been there. Just wait, it gets better if you take control of your fate. So stop waiting and get going your own way.
Got him.
Y'a un 37 devant. Quoi? Un HP.
Uh-oh.
Are all these broken dreams and these hopeless tears how it's supposed to be?
Getting down to it.
I'm sick and tired of these broken dreams, these broken
quick
teams.
builds.
Sitting down on broken screens, it sucks. Cause I
That's
really
it,
don't know
that's
who's
it.
the focus.
Aim.
Stem from the darkest themes, don't park your dream. Get a jump start, dream of
Oh, they are climbing. Trying to get him out of that storm. Picking him off.
I gotta go. 8 sur 5. Vas-y, maintenant fais juste le mieux que tu peux. Correct.
Quick build. Probably wasn't the cleanest if that's what he's trying to do, but I mean, it's still so quick. Boom, pop. Edit, pop.
All the things that keep you feeling bad.
Fast forward. What's going on?
Ferme tout.
Oh, he's getting that last one.
Nice! Yes!
Oh, he outlived him. He's using a push.
Truc party. Y'en a un!
Alright, moving on to a team Taj by Elusive Elect. Let's see what they bring to the table.
The state I'm in right now, salt drips from her brow. No more days without. Makes me feel so right. I can do no wrong. We'll keep going strong. I've got all my money on you and all my dollars off you. I'll feel like $1,000,000 and I give no fucks when I'm with you. Got all my money on you and all my dollars off you. I'll feel like $1,000,000, $1,000,000. I used to be a skeptic, non-believer, but now it's changed. You're worth your weight in gold. The richest love ain't growing on the trees out here, but confidently I can say I'm sold. The state I'm in right now, salt drips from her brow. No more days without. Makes me feel so right. I can do no wrong. We'll keep going strong. I've got all my money on you and all my dollars off you. I feel like $1,000,000 and I give no fucks when I'm with you.
going to leave you with Ultraviolet's Team Taj, and if you liked it and you want to see more, be sure to follow us and subscribe if you can, if you enjoyed this show. And we went through it pretty quickly, I'd say, for 2 weeks of catching up on esports and news and montages. I'd say we definitely caught up very well. If you missed any part of our show, you can check it out again on our YouTube channel at GameCaveTV. The Fort Report will be resuming its regular schedule next week, which is going to be on Friday again, starting around 10:30 p.m. Eastern. And until then, that's going to be it for this week. So enjoy this last montage, and we'll see you next week. Or if you like Call of Duty as well, we'll see you on Wednesday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. But we'll see you next week nonetheless. Adios.